Good morning, everyone. Welcome into another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. As always, your boy Dan Hafner here, joining you this morning. It is Thursday morning, my friends, 2 days after Christmas. The holidays are wearing off a little bit, but I'm getting excited for 2019 and the upcoming year. Today's topic is this: help is divine. As always, thank you all for joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode.
Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
All right, everyone. Welcome in again to the Run Your Day podcast. Going to talk today about help. And what I want to talk about today is this: seeking out help or accepting help can be tough, but it's really necessary for us to grow and to expand. And I want to just share with you a little bit of a parable here just to illustrate my point. So for a while, I've had this desire and this, longing to build this business for myself, right? To actually, have something that I can call my own, to create, to build something that matters, right? To me and to the people that I want to help. So for a long time, I've been just going it alone, just trying to basically keep my idea to myself, to just kind of keep it isolated. You almost kind of get attached to this idea of, something and you kind of crush it like a little baby bird in your hand. And our mind can tend to play tricks on us of, well, if I tell this or if I do this, someone might go and do something better, or somebody might not like it, or I might get criticized or something like that, right? And eventually you hit roadblocks and you hit stagnation. And really, the only thing that stands in your way at that point is your pride. Honestly, like your willingness to be like, okay, well, this is blocking me and I need help here because I don't know how to do this, but I have someone that is way better at this than me. Why don't I just ask them for help, right? See, in my case, I was actually approached by someone. Someone actually unsolicited help. Was like, hey, how about I help you with this? Like, let's work through this together. Someone much more experienced than me, someone I actually met out in California. I met before, but met in person out there. And he actually took like an hour out of his day to actually just talk with me on the phone and to just work through ideas and ask me critical questions and just help. And after that phone conversation was over, during it as well, but after it was over, I really realized, like, wow, there are actually people out there that want to help you, that want to see you succeed, right? And that shouldn't seem weird. Obviously, we all want everyone to succeed, but there are really like people out there that are willing to invest in you and to help you when they see you doing the work, when they see you struggling through things. Somebody that's already been there. And the other part of it is that, it can be difficult for us to accept help and to accept advice because we think we have it all figured out. But sometimes that can be just what the doctor ordered. Like that was something I took away, was like, wow, I hadn't thought about half of these things that he brought up. Just getting a different perspective, just realizing like, wow, maybe I didn't think this through all the way, or maybe I should look at this from a different perspective. And so not only does that additional advice help you, but it gives you a different perspective. It puts things in a different light. And the lesson I learned from this was that, it was almost like a divine intervention that happened, because it was something that was so like, wow, I really needed this. I didn't even know I needed this, but I needed it. And going back to like what we talked about in the gift, giving the gift, like that's a good gift you can give someone. It's something that they don't even realize that they need, right? And I wanted to tie this in with the quote of the day for today and kind of tie all this together. The quote of the day is this: don't talk, just act. Don't say, just show. Don't promise, just prove. Isn't that awesome? I'll read that again. Don't talk, just act. Don't say, just show. Don't promise, just prove. And if you actually go onto our site and you look at the actual, words here, act, show, prove, there's actual action there. When we get stuck in a place where we're stagnant, we're not progressing forward, we get into a place where we don't act anymore. And that is the biggest hindrance of progress, obviously. If you're not doing things, even if you're failing, you're actually just doing something. So inside of this quote, I saw this, if you're willing to act, if you're willing to try stuff, if you're willing to implement the things that someone teaches you or wants you to try, you're so much more apt to get more help in the future and be coachable than if someone's like, well, hey, you should try this. And you're like, nope, screw you, I'm not doing that. Like, okay, see if they ever want to help you again, So we all have a tendency to talk about what we want to do, but very few of us actually act on what we want to do. A lot of us say what we're going to do. We don't actually show someone that we're willing to do what they teach us to do. And a lot of us can make promises and say, I promise to myself, or I promise to you that I'm going to do this. But you don't actually prove it. You don't actually have the guts to go through and do what you're going to do, especially when it's big stuff, right? So my question for you today is this: where in your life do you know that you need help, but you just aren't willing to seek it out? Where is that? Is it inside of your fitness, inside of your marriage, inside of a relationship, especially in a career? You probably need help with something. I know I can think of a million things I need help with. But where are you willing to seek it out? Because eventually, the more help you seek out, the more mentorship you seek out, it really becomes this divine help. Like, honestly, looking back on it from last night, it was like, man, that was exactly what I needed. That was exactly what I needed. And it's awesome. So that's my question for you today. Where in your life do you know you need help, but you're just not willing to look for it? And how can you go about and look for it? I challenge you, ask somebody for help today. Ask somebody in your job or your business or whatever it is, just somebody more senior than you, for help with something, one thing that you need, that you need to get better at. That's my challenge for you today. And I'm gonna do this one as well. I mean, I usually do the challenges. I admit I'm not 100% with all the challenges that I ask you guys to do, but I am pretty good. And I'm going to do this today, and I will report to you guys on the next episode what happened, because this is a big one. This is a big one. So that's going to wrap up today's show. Highly encourage you to go through with this challenge of seeking out help. Just asking a question. It doesn't have to be a whole long, big conversation, big thing. Just asking someone a question. So that's going to wrap up the show. As always, thank you all for joining. Really, really appreciate you guys. Again, we're coming up on the 100th episode. We'll probably hit that early next week. So be sure to stay tuned in for that. Got a couple awesome interviews coming up for you guys in the new year. The Run Your Day podcast is going to go to a whole new level in 2019. It's going to be awesome. So be sure to stay tuned for that. As always, thank you all for joining, and we will talk to you next time. Make it a great rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.